Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I reached India on 3rd March and I'm fine so far. So I'm filming this video because while I was on my way from Ukraine to India, I tried to vlog my journey. It's not only my journey, I would say, it's the journey which every Indian students or other citizens had or are still having while are trying to evacuate, like while are trying to leave Ukraine right now. Some of them might be having even the worst. The war started since 24th Feb, and I also uploaded a video for like the events that occurred or what we faced or what we saw on that particular. On 25th we also heard the sirens, everything. The streets were really empty, and we also got the news that on 26th it's going to be worse. On 25th night we decided that we are going to leave on 26th morning on our own anyhow. So we packed our bag. 26th we left early as possible. So while we were walking on the streets, there were hardly few people. So we reached the nearest metro station and we saw so many citizens were staying there, who spent the night, who were still sleeping. To change the metro, like from green line we had to go to red line, but the police there, they stopped us and they said no, the red line is not working, it's closed. And he was like, it's risky there, they're dropping, they're bombing, or there's some fighting, some kind of fighting and all. We didn't know anything. So we were like, now how are we supposed to go to the railway station? Decided to go to travel in the green line only, go to like a stop, few more stop from where like the walking distance will be less. So down, and we checked the map, the way and all. We came to know that the walking distance from that particular metro station to Vokzalna, means the railway station, is 4 to 5 kilometers. So we started walking. While we were walking, again the streets were all empty, hardly few people were traveling, and while we were traveling we could hear the bomb blasts, like bombarding and all near here. And we reached the railway station and we saw huge number of people waiting there to board the train. And even the police, the local police, were firing on the air to manage the crowd. So after waiting for an hour or two, finally a train came with only 2 compartments. It was an intercity train, but we couldn't board that train. It was so crowded, so crowded, and it was full. So okay, so now another 1 hour of waiting, and then finally another train came. So we were sure that this time we'll be able to board this train. But what happened was, we boarded the train, but it was like terrific. There's so much of pushing, pulling going on. I was like near the gate only, but then there was such a huge rush that I would literally fall. Like there was a huge gap between the platform and the train, so my one leg was already inside that train, already inside that space, and I had to like protect myself, stop myself like this. I was holding the body of the train, but luckily from behind, one of my senior, he was holding my jacket, he was holding me. He was like, no, I'm not going to let you fall, don't worry. So after 2-3 minutes he literally threw me inside the train. So because of him, I was able to board the train. I kind of had two bags, one front, one behind, and I was carrying the 5 liter water, so it was really a bit difficult for me. But then he threw me inside the train, and from there, another of my friend who was helping everyone to get inside, like our entire team, and also he was helping the old people. And so he picked me up and he threw me near the seat. So that's how I was able to board the train. And while I sat down, I was still shaking because I thought that I'm going to get inside, I'm going to fall today in that place. And once I fall, I don't know how will I get back. The train was totally full. People who got their seats, very fine, but there were people who were like ready to stand also for so long, but leave Kyiv at the very moment. We reached Vinnytsia, got down there, so we thought that there will be another train. We'll board it, either we'll go to Lviv, from there Poland, or either we'll go to Uzhhorod, from there Hungary. But then we realized that for some reason all the trains that were coming from Kyiv dropped every passengers in Vinnytsia. While we thought that it's safe there, after a period of some time, like we could see, we didn't hear anything like the sound of blast or something, but we could see suddenly a huge number of birds flying away, just as if something had happened. And the very next moment we could hear the sirens, the air red alert and the sirens that went on. So we were like, no, it's not safe. And the next train to either Lviv or to Uzhhorod was at late at night, like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, some at that. We managed to book cabs anyhow. It took us a long time, like it was already evening, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and we were really scared that whether we'll be able to board the train or not, because already it's coming from Kyiv with so many passengers, then again Vinnytsia, and again that same horror, same thing. We're like, let's be safe, let's travel by late at night also. So there were lots of checkpoints where like the Ukrainian army were checking each and every cars that were passing. And he just asked our driver who was traveling with them. So he was like, they're students, and he just checked some of our passports and then he let us go. So we went, and next day morning we reached Chernihiv. So there was a market nearby, Ataway or ATB. So we went there and we saw there like everyone, each and every Ukrainians were buying groceries, foodstuffs, tissues, everything at a massive amount. Like the stocks were empty. So we were like, okay, whatever we can get, just let's get it. Let's pack bottles, water bottles, foodstuffs, and just we booked another cab, and he was supposed to drop us near the Romania border, but at least 3 to 4 or 5 kilometers away from the border. We were traveling, and then he says, no, yet can't travel any further. Came to know that the distance was maybe 10 to 15 kilometers or maybe more. So anyways, we got down and we started traveling. Like we started walking to reach the border. We were really happy to see there were so many Ukrainian families who kind of made us stalls near the roadside, like pavement kind of way. They had put up stalls where they were giving water, warm water, tea, biscuits, bread, and so many things to every people who were trying to cross the border. I'm really grateful that they helped us also. So finally we reached the Romania border by night. You have seen my live video how crowded it was with mostly, of course, Indian students. Like there were thousands and thousands of Indian students standing there. There was waiting there before us. Like maybe they were waiting since 25th, and we reached there 27th night. But then we also stood in the line, but then we realized that it's not today, our turn is not going to come, and we were also tired from the journey, so we were like, we are going to take a day off. There were lots of Ukrainian volunteers who provided us with blanket, mattress, water, everything. And it started snowing. Like the worst part was it started snowing that particular night. So they had put up tents, one huge tent where we went, we kept our luggages and we tried to sleep. It was so cold that we wished. So finally we managed to sleep for at least an hour or two, and then again we woke up early in the morning and we went to stand and wait for a turn to come and cross the border. Well, we crossed the border, then we had to stand for another line, but it was quicker for the stamp and all that. We saw that there were so many Romanian volunteers who had put up tents, who were providing warm food, blanket, every possible thing to every individual who crossed border. So we took rest. After some time, there was another Romanian individual who told, you're Indian students, so you have to go to that particular place, and then from there buses will come and they will take you. So we went, and then we saw, like, yes, from there we were in good hands. In Indian embassy in Romania were there. So we waited for a bus. It came within an hour or 2 or 3, and they took us to Bucharest. The journey was at least 6 to 7 hours, I guess. So all of us were so tired that we slept. So we went, we reached, it was like a kind of dormitory, but they had made a shelter, like tried to accommodate, because there were so many students. So like beds were provided, blankets, everything, food, water, everything. So we slept, we took a shower. There were lots of social workers who had come to speak to us, like whether we were fine or not, how we were doing. They were listening to our experiences, what we had gone through, how we travel again, like transports were arranged for us, and they had taken us to the airport. It was nearby only, but when we reached there, we came to know that no, we're not flying that day. On 3rd March, they told us that now lots of flights are coming from India, so you will be, like, what happened was, the day when we reached to airport, students who had crossed the border on 26th or 27th were also there. Like, they couldn't fly to India because of some reason. So we had to wait for our turn, of course, because we had crossed the border on 28th. Thanks to the government for arranging so many flights and all. So we were able to, all the arrangements that were made, it was free of cost. Like, they didn't charge any single penny from us. So thanks to the government. We reached to Delhi early in the morning, like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and after clearing our immigration, we could see the state governments of every individual state were standing there with placards. So I'm from West Bengal, so my officials from West Bengal were there, and they we were in their hands now. We were in good hands. Everything, they took care of me and every students. And then finally there was another flight which they arranged from Delhi to Calcutta. So I would say that this journey was terrible. We were on our own before, like from Ukraine till Romania border, because we were in Kyiv, and to reach to the almost to the western part of a country is really difficult. Students whosoever had this experience are strong enough mentally also, physically also. I'm praying that Ukraine the war will stop, everyone will be alright, because I know what's happening there. My teachers are there, so many citizens are there, still there. So many of them are trying to protect their country. So I would obviously say that no country should face this. It's not only about Ukraine, like no country, be it a small or a big country, no country should face this. I don't have any words what I'm seeing now in the news or what I saw. So I hope that everything just stops and everything gets back to normal. And that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel. See you guys in my next video. Bye.